Somebody please let me know if you can hear me clearly. I'm trying to be a little quiet. There's still some people sleeping in the house, but it's cold outside, and so I'm inside. Good morning. Hi, Skip and Tiny and TJ Shack. Nice to see you all this morning. Oh, poop. Okay, I am trying really hard to keep my phone plugged into an outlet, and this is the only outlet I know to use. Where else could I go? Okay, and so I'm struggling with a couple of things in the last few minutes. There we go. I have had a cold for the last 2 days and been rather, I want to say rather sick. I've been in bed for 2 days basically with a pretty bad cold. So I'm feeling better today, and that is not going to help y'all see me. Let me loosen this. There we go. That's a little better. It's not very straight. Hi, Jeremy. Nice to see you all this morning. You know I'm working, right?
I'm
Yeah.
done.
You're done with that part? Let's see. Turn around. Turn around this way. Let's see. You have a little bit more. Let's do it on this side this time. There you go. Some of it up here is you didn't get. You're doing really good. I'm teaching the little girl here how to brush her own hair. She's in preschool. I'm trying to remember. Good morning, Beth. Trying to remember how old she is. 4. I think she's 4. And I just am encouraging her to take whatever hairbrush she's willing to use. And, and I put a little spray on her hair, the detangler spray, and let her play with the hairbrush. What? Yeah. So, so let's see. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, everyone. Um, Let me get my little notes. I had a couple of people kind of give me some. I shouldn't read all the comments, I was told, but you know what? I read comments and I try to respond to them, and I try to respond in a reasonable way. Um, it's okay. You can talk. It's okay. Um, uh, but so, initial things. Welcome to Simply Live with Simply Lesa. This is our normal Sunday morning, 9:30 Arizona time, or 10, no, or 8:30 Nevada time, because I've been stuck in Nevada all summer. Um, I talk about real, raw realities of solo female, off-grid, overland and off-road, budget adventures, travels, and living. And here we go. Today, Today we're going to talk about, it's so great to see all of y'all. Um, we're going to talk about how there are times when we have to make decisions that are difficult or challenging for us. And one of those great challenges for me this summer, there's been more than one, but is the deciding to rebuild the engine on my 98 Chevy Tracker that I live out of like 85, 95% of the time. I do own acreage in a very remote part of Arizona, northeast Arizona. And I did build a cabin during COVID, and it is very small. It is only 12-foot square, so it's basically like the size of a bedroom or something. And it's a dry cabin, so it's very off-grid living even when I'm there. So basically, I camp year round. That's my lifestyle. Is basically overgrown camping, car camping, cabin camping, camping in tents, and hammock camping, which I can't wait to get back into. I'm really doing some research again on hammock camping. I would like to do some other things. I used to do some long distance hiking. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick that back up and maybe do some section hiking again, which is a possibility. I also have thought about bike packing, but with the balance issues that I've had with the MS, which is basically in remission most of the time right now since I started the carnivore diet, I'm not sure about that, but it is something I'd love to do if I could. So those are some of those things. Um, let's see. So we're going to talk about, how it feels to leave a vehicle behind to be fixed. And for me, what mixed emotions am I having with that? We're also going to talk about how I've been in this situation this summer with a family. And right now, because it's cold, I'm sleeping in the house. And, I've been sick. It's a high energy household, a lot of ADHD in this household, kids, stuff like that. And there's pets. There's a dog. Now there's a cat. Now they just got a shop cat. Um, and so we're going to talk about some of those things as well, because this has been challenging. And we're going to look at the questions that you guys send me. So while you're out there on the chat, if you guys could please put 3 uppercase Qs in front of your questions, but please send questions. Ask me what's going on so I can explain to you even better. Um, Ask me questions about things that you good. Um, Ask me about things that you have going on that we can, as a group, kind of try to help you come up with possible solutions for things of that nature. And please forgive the my looks. I have had a pretty bad cold for 2 days. Um, that's one thing about being around more people and especially children who go back and forth to school is, as their father says, they go visit the petri dish and come home. Well, I've gotten sick once before, and that was that was worse. That was pretty bad. This one's just basically a cold. And yesterday I slept like most all day long, and coughed a lot yesterday, but today's better. So, um, so how does it feel to be getting ready to leave? I thought I was going to leave this past week. Yes, Jeremy, I was going to surprise you. Um, but one of the parts, as Jeremy and other mechanics will know, um, auto parts are really, really hard to get right now, especially for vehicles that are between, I think it's 1996 and 2006 or something like that. Really hard to get those parts. So, one part that we're waiting on, or I believe it's one, maybe it's two, but one part that I'm aware of hasn't showed up yet. They're saying it might be here Monday or Tuesday. So after that, then we're doing one quick trip down south to Tonopah, which is about hour and a half away, something like that, to test it and to do a run for the family. It's the closest town that has things like Family Dollar and a larger grocery store. And so we're going to do some like a supply run, and there's a Napa Auto Parts and stuff down there. And so I told the mechanic, let's do that as the first test drive before I leave for home. So that's the plan for that. It feels really strange to begin to think about this. And since I thought I was leaving this past week, I was trying to let the mechanic have the car as much as he could, but at the same time starting to think about, well, what am I taking out of the other tracker to take with me? What choices do I need to make? What decisions need to be made? And so I guess maybe one of his coffee breaks or something one day, I said it out loud and he goes, "Oh, you can take your saddlebags off the white one and put them on the blue one, on the tire on the blue one." So I did that and I forgot to film it. I will be filming to put out as a regular YouTube video the part where I'm take the stuff out of the tracker and put into the blue one. But that will be after we do the test drive because we might need space. He's thinking about buying things like a case of toilet paper and stuff like that because they're so far from town. So that's those kinds of information. So, oh hey Catherine and Beth, it's nice to see you. Car parts have gotten crazy, yeah, and the delivery of them, sometimes it's hard to find them, and then getting the deliveries, it's been really strange. I saw another question. Let me go up and to replace your diesel engine, the cost has doubled. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna take me longer to get the 98. Okay, there's the 2 questions I had seen. It's gonna take me longer to get the 98 engine rebuilt because I've asked Mike if he can slow it down so I can save enough money so I can pay for it. And so, I told him, "Don't stop. I want it fixed." But, I'm aware that it's gonna cost me money to go home. There's a couple of things I need to do at home. And then I'm gonna have to send money back. But yes, send the things to the machine shop. Yes, let's get that stuff. Let's get it fixed, but don't go too fast. So, is there such a thing as a portable solar panel that you can safely plug your cell phone and battery booster into? Um, yes, Iris. Um, but that you can plug your cell phone and battery booster into. Let me think about that for a second because you're saying battery booster. There are trickle chargers and there are portable solar panels that come with clips so that you can clip them onto the battery of your car to keep your car charged, if that's what you mean. Now, if you're thinking battery booster, wait a minute. I should ask it as a question rather than assuming. But Iris, what is your definition of a battery booster? Is the battery booster, are you talking about the battery packs like my Rock Pals or somebody else's little lithium battery packs that have inverters in them? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you actually talking about a different kind of battery booster? Um, because yes, there are portable panels that can do all kinds of things, and that yes, you can plug your cell phone straight into them. Yes, many of them have a little box on the side of them that have USB ports in them. And as long as there's sun coming in the panel, it will put some kind of charge into whatever USB you've got plugged in. Doesn't mean it will charge everything. And yes, Jeremy, how's the blue car coming? I will let you know in a minute, Jeremy. Um, Yeah, Renergies. The only reason that I sometimes don't talk about Renergies much is the cost of them. I have found things that were less expensive, but they also are different power. So I have very waterproof, very portable panels at the cabin. I didn't bring them with me because I thought that my new system on the front, had my engine been running, had we left the battery plugged into it, it would have been fine. But because I wasn't able to, then not having the portable panel kind of, had me dependent on their electric power here. So yeah, you guys, please share the lives whenever you get a chance to. I appreciate that. Um, Power bank that solar charges on your dashboard. No. Okay, great. That's wonderful, Beth. There's lots of options for these things. Um, let's see. So how does it feel to be leaving? Bizarre. Mixed emotions. Bizarre. Like, oh crap, am I going to remember? First off, before I had driven a little bit, it was first off a little bit of conversation in my own head about, wow, do I remember how to drive? It's been so freaking long since I've been behind the wheel. What the crap am I doing? Right. And then it was, well, oh crap, the little blue car's kind of been through a life, a well used life. Um, And so there was like, well, can I afford to do this? So Mike did tell me it's going to cost me somewhere around 400. I don't remember the exact amount, but somewhere close to $400 for the labor for him to have the blue car ready for me to go. That's how much I'm going to have to pay him for that. I've got it. It's going to be tight. It's going to be real tight. Um, uh, so the let me think. Oh, yeah, like riding a bike, yeah. Well, I've driven some in between, so I'm not nervous about that anymore, but it started with that. It was like, "Oh, crap. I have to think about driving again. Oh, crap." Then it was like, it took me a little while to sort of go, "Oh, I should look at a map. Where do I wanna stop first?" Because as I understand with the health of the blue car, that is probably not healthy for me to drive that any further than about 4 hours before I give it a good rest. So where do I want to stop along the way? Um, and it is a small car, so it does get blown around by the wind a little bit. So I'll probably travel in the morning and not in the afternoon when the wind is higher. Because I know what that's like in a couple of places, especially on I-40 when it's like, the semi trucks are getting blown around. I don't want to go through that. So I'll probably drive in the mornings. And, but there's all those emotions of, oh crap, I'm leaving my baby. I don't know how many of you know um, um, Rebel Miner, but Rebel Miner calls his suburban that he lives out of, he calls that Loki. He's named it. And I don't have a name for mine, but I feel about that tracker sort of like he feels about his Loki. You know, it's kind of my baby, and it's been the first car that I really wanted to keep, and that I just knew I was capable with this car to do all kinds of scary things. And not only is it's capable, but I can handle it too. And so when it broke down with the whole engine rebuild thing, I was like, well, do I have enough money? Can I finagle this? Can I figure out a way to do this? That was a lot of it. So, you guys, I'm holding this here because I'm trying to be respectful of the families watching cartoons, and it's too cold to be outside. So that's why you see me holding this set of headphones and this microphone close to my mouth. So, yeah, so I've had those like, oh man, I'm leaving my baby, and I just put that expensive solar system on there. And to me, it was expensive because it was almost $1,000 to buy the solar kit that I put on and have it installed. There was a lot to it. It wasn't only the solar kit, um, but the combination made it expensive. And we all are budgeting everything these days. Everybody is. I mean, the world has just changed. So yeah, to think about, oh my God, I'm going to leave that here. Oh, what am I doing? Am I going to be all right? Will I be able to come back after it? And when Tina Zenquest said that she would give me the ride back for it, it was like, okay, I can relax on that. It is possible for me to come back to get it and things of that nature. So those things have eased my mind, but they were concerns for a while. And sometimes we've got to talk our ways through it with ourselves or journal our way through it. So yeah. So and so I've had those thoughts, those concerns, and then it was like, well, how much stuff do I take out of it? I'm probably going to clean it completely out of everything that's there because I use everything. And I don't have two sets of things. I don't have separate things for the cabin that I need for the car. I don't have two of things. I don't want to have two of things. But I see how being vehicle dependent really would be even better if I had my bigger emergency funds like I used to. And it is the goal, but it isn't happening yet. Um, so let's see. So then the other thing about emotions and whatnot and how it feels to leave, I had been such a solo person for so many years and living alone and traveling alone. And, after Ozzy died, my late dog, traveling alone, being alone, choosing to camp apart from people more than with people. Some of it because of my health. I'm allergic to perfume. I'm allergic to marijuana. Yes, I'm allergic to like almost everything, ad nauseum. But you put all those things together, and I'd been alone so very much. And now I've been with people all summer, and it's been good for me. There's been a lot of growth. It's been weird. I'm going to miss them. I am. I'm going to miss them. It's going to be different. I think that I'm going to redesign my life with a little more people in my life, because this peopling all summer and the high energy household and the kids and the pets and the animals and the whatever else. I, oh, I'm so sorry, Beth. Thank you. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Beth. That's so hard when one of your pets passes. Um, but yeah, I'm doing good. So blue car status. Blue car status is I have some pictures I was going to post, but I didn't get them posted yet, Jeremy. Um, it is on the cement pad in front of the bay door because this shop is a one bay shop and he only has one lift. So my car is in front of the door on the outside on the cement pad. It is on jacks. Yeah, on jacks. And so it's lifted up in the air on the front. And all the stuff that can be done without the part we're waiting on is already apart and waiting for the part that's coming. We, Jeremy, you already know that that the rear end in the blue car is going to need rebuilding when I get back home. And that's why now I'm making a little bit of an announcement here. That's why I'm choosing that I'm going to go back to the cabin, besides the fact that I need to go there. But I'm going back to the cabin. I may have to spend most of the winter at the cabin because I need the outer rear bearings and differential probably rebuilt. Something. It's going to need some work. It's labor intensive, so it'll be expensive on labor, and the parts are going to be expensive. The only other option is to try to find a good rear end off of something else, but I'm not sure that's possible. So, but I haven't even looked into that. But that Jeremy's going to end up helping me with that on the other end. So, that's why I won't be moving around a whole lot this winter, like some winters that I do. I will be able to use it. I will be able to use a four-wheel drive even when I leave because Jeremy, I don't know that you know, but when he started to replace the control arms, they're one-piece control arms. Whatever I don't remember the exact name, but I think it was an upper bearing or something on the front that was bad. I know you guys talked about it the other day, Jeremy, but that part is what we're waiting on to replace because what he realized was there's no point in putting it all back together when somebody would have to just take it apart to put that part in. And so we looked up how much the part cost. I had enough money, so we bought the part. We're waiting on that so that when we put it back together, the front end stuff will be done. I'll be able to use the four-wheel drive normally. I'll be able to use the car, the front end of it normally, but the rear end is going to need work. So that's what that's going on. My cabin is at 6,500 feet. So I do get 4 seasons. Some years it's mild, some years it's not so mild. I have had a couple of times when I was there and it was, um, we had 3 feet of snow with mud under the snow one year, and I couldn't leave the property for about, I was paralyzed that year, so people were checking on me. We couldn't get in, a vehicle couldn't get in and out to me for 5 weeks. And then the weather broke and it all melted, and the ground dried up enough so that we could get a truck in. So I can hike out, but I was paralyzed that year, so that was a little challenging. Um, but but we haven't had that kind of weather there yet, as far as I'm aware of. I keep watching. I do have a wood stove in the cabin, and I do have like about, I don't know, I think I've got about 3 cords of seasoned hardwood. Not hardwood, but seasoned cordwood. So I think the neighbor's just going to let me, the neighbor's going to help me split wood because, well, it may be easier to split this year than it was the last time I tried splitting it. But I might need a little help with that. So they're going to help me. Um, so let's see what else is going on with this. TJ, great question. What excites me about going back to the cabin? Is it excitement? I think I think being able to go back to the familiar and regroup on my own for a few minutes. Um, my cabin is really remote. Some of you don't really realize how I'm only 7 miles from pavement, but it's remote and it's beautiful and it's peaceful and I can breathe there. I don't have the allergens that I have in other areas. There's no high tension wires close by that make me not be able to sleep or make things flutter in my body. Um, I can now see a few rooftops when I'm on my ridge and looking out over the White Mountains. I'm able to see a few rooftops now, but before I couldn't. You can even see signs of people. There's a lot of animals. Um, so I think it's just that I'm I'm grateful that I'm gonna be able to go to something familiar. I know when I was traveling in Central America, basically I lived down there for a number of years. It was either 5 or 7 years. While I was down there came a time when I had what's often called expat or nomad burnout. And when you get that burnout, I just wanted to go home. But I did that's my in quotes. But I didn't have any place that was home. I didn't have any people that made it home. I didn't have a safe place to go to where somebody could that was one of my criteria was where somebody could understand my joke or my tease or where somebody could just not blame me for everything because I'm the outsider. And yes, in Central America, often well, anywhere where you're an expat, it's often uh, I was in a Spanish speaking country, so it's often the gringa's fault, always the gringa's fault. She doesn't understand Spanish, which isn't true, but or wasn't true. but it's a very common expat thing. And for me, I get to a certain point where it's like I just need a place where somebody gets my jokes, where I can talk and not be told I didn't understand how much money you asked me for, and the fact that you just changed how much you wanted me to pay for something or whatever it was. So, so Irish, you're in Sholo? Like seriously? You know Sholo's where I go to shop at Walmart if I want a Walmart. Anyways, so yeah, it's just that coming back to familiar. And I I have with me most of the stuff that I use when I'm at the cabin. So like my Kelly kettle that I boil water with for my shower or whatever. I have those with me, but I'm going to take them back with me because I use them there. And so it'll be nice to go out at 5 o'clock in the morning and start my little fire and make my hot water for my first washcloth and getting dressed, and yeah, all of those things will be nice. Um, and to put a steak on my own fire pit, I have grills with me and stuff, but it's there's a different level, and it'll be really nice to start the wood stove and have that nice, calm, relaxing, warm, dry, warm fire going with the hot water kettle on. I usually leave a hot water kettle on all day long, all the time. And so whenever I want a cup of hot water, I can just have it. That's the bomb. When it's cold out, for me, that's the bomb. So yeah, yeah, yeah. By the way, over the winter, I've just been invited to two more things. Um, One is I don't know that I can have the rear end of the blue car ready for December. If it was ready for December, I think that Zooks of Arizona has just invited me. Like they sent me a special note, not just the one they send everybody. But they said, "Hey, Lesa, we just did you see it? Please, is there any way you're going to be able to come to this one?" So in December, they're going to go down to, oh crap, Sup- Surprise? Is it Surprise, Arizona? Am I saying the right name? I think it's Surprise, Arizona. Um, and they're going to do I don't know, maybe I think it's a week long series of rides through that area. That area is really super cool. I was able to go down there with somebody I had met through Nomad stuff, and rode in their side by side with them all around that area. So to be able to go down there and drive it myself would be kind of cool, but I don't know if I can maneuver that for December. I really don't. But if it was possible, I would I would go down and ride around with them all down there. Or maybe Jeremy can take a long weekend and we could take one of Jeremy's uh, uh, sandrail things or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. But that would be fun to go to that. And then, of course, in January is the RTR stuff. And I was going to teach this year because this is the last year that Sue Ann is retiring from the Homes on Wheels Alliance organization. And so it would have been cool to like bump into that and teach a little bit or something. But it may not happen because I might not be able to make it because I don't know how much it's going to cost me to do that rear end and how long it's going to take. But that's some of that. So let's see who else is on here. I see some new people. Um, FNAF crew, welcome. Leaving stream because of your internet. Okay. What are the dates for RTR? The the dates for RTR. I do not. George, do you have the dates for RTR where you can get to them so you can put them out correctly? It's, I think it's the second week of January, but let's see if George can uh, put that out for you guys real quick. Um, And TJ, I think I've explained what RTR is. It's the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. Some of you guys, if you look it up, you can find that easily. That's the that's what's left of what used to be the camp together thing that we used to do with Bob Wells when I was new at this in 2010 and 2011. And and I was saying new at this. I wasn't really new at it because I started in 1978. Um, I was living in a van in Virginia, in Richmond, Virginia. And then let's see, I did that for a year there. And then 2 years later, or a year and a half later, now maybe 2 years later, I was in Tappahannock and I was campground hosting at a little campground with two little children. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you got a Corvair to do. Okay. We'll have to see what can happen. I don't know, but it would be kind of fun to go down and hang with those guys. I had so much fun at Zuki Palooza with them. Now, when I'm talking about Zukis and Zooks of Arizona, this is trackers, which are can be GM trackers or Chevy trackers, are a Suzuki vehicle, and the Suzukis started in this country started with Samurais and let's see, Samurais, then then the sidekicks and the trackers, and then the Vitaras, and I forgot what the Vitaras were called in the other. But anyways, but so those were those cars, and because of some glitch with Consumer Reports, they have been banned in the United States as new vehicles. So when we go to other countries, which is kind of cool, when I went to Baja, they have the new Suzuki. They have Thank you, Iris. They have the new Suzuki Jimneys, which wow, wouldn't I love to have one of those? Those are beautiful, but we can't import them into the United States at all. So, so much for that. So, got to make sure your doctor's appointments aren't around it. Okay. I hope you guys health this well. I hear you saying doctor's appointment, although I know that's routine for many people. Thank you, both Iris and uh, George. Thanks both for putting that out. Um, so, oh, I don't know what else to say right now. Oh, I've caught up with one of my friends from the Baja trip, the big Ford that went with us. Oh, I forgot what MJK Adventures, I think it is. Um, um, uh, Jason and Melinda. I caught up with them. They're finally leaving Alaska. They got their head gaskets fixed up in Alaska. They did the they did the Alaska portion of the Pan American Highway. So they went up to the Arctic Circle, and then turned around and came back. And so I wanted to do that too, but I couldn't afford it. Right. And then the engine pooped out. So our engine blew. So anyway, they got their head gaskets fixed. They're back on the road. They said that sometime next week they're supposed to be in Idaho or something. They've got things they're doing, and I don't remember what they said they were doing for Thanksgiving and Christmas, but they told me. And looks like they're going to be meeting up with me at my cabin because of the way their travels are and mine. So that'll be nice. I had invited them a while back. And then my other um, travel family, Tramley, my other travel family, the Stringless Theory family, Chris and Julie. I thought I was going to meet them for Thanksgiving on my way home, but that's not happening. They had to put a new axle in the front of their new to them 70s Sun Raider that they've got. They've got a 4-wheel drive Sun Raider. It won't be ready for us to meet up. So, oh, cool. Oh, cool. Oh, I got lots of ideas for these things. If you if y'all want my ideas, I'll come give them to you because I I just love doing these. And it's funny as I've been, as I've had to clean this one and work with it and find car seat covers because the front seats were kind of funky, and I just wanted to get the other person's energy removed. So, cleaning it and making it more mine, right? Um, yeah, you come up with ideas. So I got ideas for y'all. But anyway, um, so Stringless Theory, anyways, they're also going to meet up with me up at the cabin at some point because they're going to go east. They came from North Carolina originally. They winter in Baja most of the time, but they've got something to do with family in on the East Coast, so they're going that way. And I would have loved to have traveled with them, but the blue car is not going to be ready for that. So that's why I'm making the decisions I am. That I'm going to have to stay around the cabin more, and I'm going to have to decide what I want my life looking like in the future. I want more people in my life, so we'll think about that. Oh, Jeremy, that's sweet. I love the little I love the little pickup truck uh, rally tops that you can get for the back of the trackers, like mine. They make it so cute, but they're not always practical. But I love that idea of cutting it and making it a micro pickup. Oh, it would be like a UTE they have in other countries. That sounds pretty cool. There he is. Hi. Oh, something else. I missed something. Okay. Yeah, and hi to you call him senior and junior, but Stan and Stanley, whatever. Hi to those guys. I mean, I miss y'all so much, and I think it's gonna be nice to get back. Or an FJ. Oh, I got a couple of pictures on Pinterest for you too, Jeremy, when I get back, because I just was looking at some of those and going, oh, there's a Suzuki made a little pickup truck right around the time that they were making the Samurais, and it looks like a samurai in the front, but I don't know the one picture I'm thinking of. I don't know if it's a samurai front, like cab, and if the back of it might be a Toyota pickup bed. I don't know, but it's a sweet looking little pickup. I like that. It's kind of cool. Oh, oh, that was Mike. Yeah. Oh, Jeremy's saying that you walked behind me and hi. He's saying hi back. I missed that little thing. Oh, hi, Tom. Yeah, yeah, that was Mike. Yeah, he said hi. Okay, so I don't know what that comment was about, Tom. Did I miss some other comment you made first? Or you just figured out that I'm allergic to marijuana and that's why I don't act like you do, or why I don't fit into a lot of groups because I don't sit around the campfire smoking weed with them all. I don't know. What a bummer. Whatever. You know, I don't miss it anymore. I got used to it. But it's no fun breaking out in hives. And so that's why I don't even get near y'all's campfires because I do. I break out in hives horribly. It's not fun at all. So I think I've talked about the things that I had on my list, and maybe it's because I've had a cold that and I am still kind of itchy. Well, there's a lot of allergens here too. And it's no offense to anybody. They know I say that all the time to them. Um, oh, Jack stands. Yep. Anyway, I uh, I am allergic to dog hair and cat hair, dust, mold, all kinds of environmental things. So, just add, I'm in somebody else's house and it's too cold to be outside. And so you do what you got to do. But, you know, I think I've had quite a cold, but my eyes are still itchy and it could be allergies and not just other things. Um, but
You have some of my white blood cells. I'm immune to just about everything.
no, I can have some of your Mike saying I can have some of his white blood cells. He's immune to everything. That's lovely. I hope that keeps working for you as you get older. Yeah, yeah. But mine hasn't been age. Mine's just been I. You know what I think mine is? The more I study up on MS and carnivore diet stuff, I think that there's a real connection between CPTSD. So PTSD that's compounded, or, lots and lots of super stress in somebody's life. And I think there's a connection of that and MS. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you're right, Jeremy. Yeah. And so I miss coffee. Can I tell you all that? Boy, do I miss coffee. I smell it. Mike's making some right now. I smell it and I'm like, oh, that smells so good. I want a cup of coffee. I'm not having coffee now because it is a plant thing. And because for 2 weeks I've been back doing really, really good with my strict uh well, I shouldn't say strict. I'm doing relaxed lion diet, not perfectly lion diet, but it's very, very close. So I'm mostly like 95% beef, salt, and water. Right, Mike? It's really probably getting annoying to them to either smell me cooking it or eating it or whatever, but it's like, oh yeah, she's doing that weird stuff again. But
If
they
I had a choice, I'd eat meat with a side of meat at every meal.
Oh, he's saying if he had a choice, he'd eat meat with a side of meat every meal, anyways. Well, and mine's been ground beef with a side of ground beef with a side of the water from boiling ground beef, which is called broth. Or the kids, the little girl, Alice, has decided that sometimes she asks me what I'm having for breakfast, and she goes, "It's not that hamburger soup again," and wrinkles her nose up. Yes, it's hamburger soup. Um, but I'm feeling better, and I got enough of the allergens and other things that are difficult for me. So just kind of trying to keep my food reasonable at the same time is, I think it's helping me to stay stronger and stuff. And uh what else? So on that side of things, that's going pretty good. I did get a coach through one of my groups on Facebook. She's helping me to maneuver a little bit, and as I get going home, I'll probably make a few more changes. But I do really think there's a connection between the autoimmune diseases and high levels of stress that are prolonged for days and days and weeks and years. And I think, and that often is called CPTSD. I think that there's a connection there with that and autoimmune diseases, and in my case, MS. So, uh, oh, okay, cool. Do you get snow at your place too, Tom? I believe Tom's cabin is in uh the Williams general area. Um so I guess I didn't realize that you would get snow. I mean, I know there's snow up in Arizona. Lots of northern Arizona has snow. So so uh yeah. Okay. So yeah, on the health note, I feel like in the last 2 weeks, I feel like my MS is more in remission again, like it was. I think it'll be much better. I did lose 5 pounds. That's great. But that's not my focus. My focus is to keep being adventurously active right up until I'm 125 when I can take a nap and say, well, y'all have a good one. Enjoy your little party. And I can take a nap and not wake up. That would be okay with me. So we'll see if that happens. It's a great idea, right? So, yeah, I'm not going out in some scooter chair. That ain't happening. Not for me. But anyway, so, but I do miss the coffee. I think with coffee, when it comes time to say that it's okay again, uh, I will, I, well, I should tell you this too. I just got my first affiliate link, and it's from a coffee company. It's from Danger Coffee. I will be buying Danger Coffee in the future. That's because it is lab tested as mold free. And it's expensive, it's not cheap, but it also has uh minerals and electrolytes added to it in an extremely careful way. And the reason that I trust Dave Asbury, who owns that company, the reason I trust him with these things is because his health has been like mine. And I've watched him over the years and I have chatted with him off and on, but I have been very much aware of how he healed himself. But his allergies to milk and dairy and things didn't last as long as mine, and he never actually got an autoimmune, I don't believe. Well, RA's maybe he has RA, which is rheumatoid arthritis, so he might have one. But anyways, yeah, Beth, interesting, huh? Cool. Hi, Babs. Nice to see you again. Love you, girl. Yeah, Epstein Barr can lead to evidently Lyme's disease can lead to MS. Lots of stuff can lead to MS. So yeah. Yeah, the coffee blend sounds good. I couldn't do it. But that's okay. Did I tell you guys that I found a protein powder that I was willing to experiment with that is carnivore based? It has stevia and monk fruit in it. And I, oh, you're going to, oh, Mike's handing me the bag and he's doing the whole Vanna White modeling it thing. I found this, okay? And the ingredients are incredible. So, ingredients list, you'd have to pause something to read that most likely. But I did buy it, okay? And Mike tried it too. What did you think, Mike?
It's like a vanilla butterscotch.
Tastes like vanilla butterscotch to Mike. To me, when I opened the bag, I went, what is that smell? I haven't smelled that in years. And then it was like, oh, butterscotch. So I got it's butter vanilla flavor, and I checked with the company because it says natural flavors in the list, and I can't do natural flavors. But I checked with the company; they said it was vanilla. So I was like, okay, well, if it's really only vanilla, I won't be allergic. So the ingredients are grass-fed whole feast blend, which is beef protein isolate, beef organ powder. So it's got the powder of beef heart, liver, kidney, spleen, pancreas stuff, bone, and then some colostrum powder, tallow, beef tallow, and leucine or L-leucine, Himalayan rock salt, stevia, monk fruit, and a sunflower lecithin, and that's it. And so I decided I would experiment with it. It's helping me. I don't, I won't know exactly how much, but like at the end of the day, if I'm still hungry, or yesterday when I was feeling so sick, instead of eating a couple of meals, well, I tried to eat a couple of times and I was like, yeah, I'm really not into this. But I made one scoop of this in twice the amount of water twice yesterday and drank. And it's good. It works, liking it. I think it's going to be a good thing. So there are a couple of items that are not truly carnivore, but I'm willing to be relaxed lion diet right now. So I'm doing that and the ground beef, 80/20 ground beef as much as possible. And that's what I'm doing for the moment. It is making it very routine and like I'm eating the same thing all the time right now. Um, in this situation, it makes it easier. I got to share the kitchen with the family. I got to be respectful and whatever. I mean, that's appropriate. And so I've got to store things in their fridge and doing all kinds of things. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Babs. Some people are very allergic to stevia, and so you might be okay. Did you ever try monk fruit? Sometimes you can, but I'm just saying this is one I was willing to try for my situation, and it's helping because it gives me just that little extra thing that I used to get from coffee. It doesn't give me any caffeine, but just that extra, I'm not so weird in the world thing. I don't know what it is. Probably mental, whatever. And they have other flavors, but I didn't decide if I want to have chocolate in my life or not. I But whatever, because that's just another plant thing. I'd have to like figure out whether I was reacting. But so basically that's what I'm doing right this minute on the carnivore stuff. I still can't eat eggs. Definitely cannot eat commercial eggs. I was able to eat some duck eggs, but they're ducks. It's winter. They're not doing anything right now. So yeah, they're not producing eggs right now. They're not laying. So I don't know. Right now I'm doing pretty good. So we'll see. I'm probably going to keep this um, uh, protein powder in my diet for a long time. Oh, I did see where somebody else took this protein powder, and there's another brand. There's an Epic protein powder that's bone broth. It doesn't have all the organ meats powder in it. But it's a bone broth one by Epic. They make a chocolate which has I think it's only 3 ingredients, and they have vanilla that has more ingredients, but it has a little bit of coconut milk in it, uh, powder. And they're using them as their coffee creamer. Yeah, I did notice that they were mixing them first with water before they put them in their coffee, in case so they won't like clump up or something, curdle, whatever. But I think that's kind of a cool thing that when I do decide that it's okay to have coffee, I will probably have the Danger coffee that I now have an affiliate for, which I have not done the work. I need to do the work to see how I put that out so that if you were to buy Danger coffee, I would get paid a few pennies or something. But I need to see how that works. But anyways, I will eventually buy some so that maybe on a Sunday morning I might let myself have a cup of coffee. I used to do that for a couple of years. It was the only time I had coffee was Sunday morning. And so I might let myself do that again. But right now I'm not because I want to make sure that that's not one of the things that was bothering me. So, um, what else? I don't know what else. Do we have other things to talk about? I do keep looking at things about trying to get a little dog. I think about getting a dog off and on. Um, but I know how dogs change your travel style quite a bit. And so I don't know the answer to whether I'm actually going to do that, but I do like the whole unconditional love thing and the extra set of ears for barking when I need to know that something's coming at me. It's kind of nice. but I don't know how I feel about that right now. So it's possible. I had talked to uh, Mojave Bohemian a while back about dogs. We had talked about it before the trip or around the trip. So, well, we'll see what happens. Um, we've had the excitement of the new shop cat coming in, and then him getting outside for the first time or meeting the dog for the first time. We've had all that. TJ Shack, can you give me information about taking the camper to Baja? Sure. What would you like to know? First off, you need to have two things legally to go into Mexico. Those two things are Mexican insurance, which you can sometimes get through your own insurance company, but there's cheaper ways. So most people I know, even people who have crazy, like retired military incomes, I find that they do not choose to use their own insurance. The other thing that you have to have is your visa, which is called an MMM. They're very simple and easy to get. Mexican insurance, I got mine through Lewis and Lewis because it was cheaper. Because on my vehicle, I could not get full coverage no matter anybody's Mexican insurance because of the age of my vehicle. And because of that, I went with Lewis and Lewis because they were the cheaper, uh, I think it's liability insurance. And I knew that I was only planning to be there for a month, but I had it stuck in the back of my mind as a thought that if I loved it and I wasn't having fun traveling with other people, that I would stay longer. So I went ahead and paid for 3 months worth of insurance. 3 months worth was only like $10 more than a month's worth. And so many people find that they think their trip is going to be a 1 month thing, and because it's so inexpensive, they go ahead and sure, I can do that. Yes. Many people um, find that uh, it's cheap enough that they just get 6 months worth or a year's worth at a time because it's pretty inexpensive. So, and the MMM, which is the visa for taking your vehicle through. Now, when you're going to Baja, you only need that visa. If you go into mainland Mexico, you have one more thing you need. Mainland Mexico needs a. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. Thank you. Um, the mainland Mexico, you need one more thing, and basically what it is you need to prove that you have a certain amount of emergency money. I can't remember the name of what it's called to in case something happens to your vehicle. And so you have to it's another piece of paper. You have to cross some T's and dot some I's and do things. But yes, I can send you that information later. Absolutely. But going into Baja, really simple. You can actually do your insurance online, pay for it, have it all done. They'll mail you something, but I didn't get my mail until I came back from the trip. So, and then you can go to wherever you're doing your border crossing, and you can actually cross the border, park your car. I mean, barely cross, park your car, and go into the immigration office and get your uh, MMM visa for. I don't remember how much it costs. I'm thinking it was either $20 or $30, something like that. It's you fill out a form, you show them your insurance papers, you show them you can show your papers on your phone. And I went through Algodones when we went in. Was real simple. I went the day before and got mine, and then the next day we went with 6 big military looking vehicles and my little thing, and we went in and parked all 6 of them right there along the street, and they all one at a time walked in and got their visas and then moved their car outside of town where we met up again. So real, basically very simple, not challenging system. They will, of course, stop your vehicle, and most likely, not always, but most likely they will stop your vehicle and look through it, like they did with Jason and Melinda's vehicle, because it looked so military. Of course they're gonna look. And most of their gonna looks was, hey, do you mind if I take a picture with my phone? Because that thing's really cool and I want to do that to my truck. So it was you know, yeah. So that's that stuff. All right. Your dog is 12. Oh, that's nice, Iris, that you're able to travel with her. Yes. And you can take the shack. Absolutely. I think your shack is one of the best little vehicles for making a trip like that. I mean, seriously. There's there's a daddy daughter moment happening. Uh, it's the my tummy hurts. Probably she's full. She's probably ate all she wanted or something. Oh, right, but she's resistant. She was resistant to mom having to go to work this morning too. So, yes, you're so TJ Shack, Mike. When you're hearing me talk about that, they're the couple that has the well, I say couple, they are together. Yeah, they're the couple that have the original Bronco camper
Oh,
that was sold from the factory that way. I think I showed you a picture.
no, you were looking for it, but you couldn't find it.
Oh, I didn't find the picture. Okay. Yeah, I'll show it. It's yeah, I have said many times if I don't want to go to a larger vehicle, okay? And you guys know that cuz you guys when my engine was going, you guys were starting to yeah, did I say Bronco? I did say Bronco camper. Yeah. Okay. Um when my engine was going, um you guys, TJ, were starting to send me ads of these other campers you found that you thought would be good for me. And I appreciate that so much. There's only really one that I would kind of entertain the idea, but it would have to be kind of rebuilt for me and stuff, I think, because I loved part of the Baja trip we did was the Baja Divide Trail we went on, and my tracker made me feel more confident doing this really scary Jeep trail, basically Jeep trail through the mountains in Mexico. And there were all those bigger vehicles that went with me. They all did those same roads. But do you know, I saw some of those trucks having one tire out hanging out over the side of a mountain. And I can't do that. I'm too scared. I would be I would be hanging on for dear life and talking to God pretty loud about help me get through this, because that, to me that's too scary, having one of your wheels not even on the road, like off the side of a mountain. The wrong bump, you're going to roll down the mountain. So I like my little vehicles because they fit well in these really narrow, steep, strange. Mike's making faces at me from the kitchen.
No, you just remind me of a hunting trip me and my cousin went on.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, can you guys hear Mike when he talks? Wait a minute, let me.
Oh, me and my cousin were out hunting, and we were way up, high up in the mountains there in Oregon, the high Cascades.
Yeah.
And we were on one of those narrow roads, and we were pushing snow,
Uh-huh.
and we got as high as we could. It was stuck. There was nowhere to turn around. My cousin looks at me and goes, "You've seen me race cars. Do you trust me?" I go, "With my life, cuz." He's like, "Hold on." Puts it in reverse and fast as he could, pulled the e-brake, did a reverse 180 right on that cliff edge.
Dang.
Yeah, it was the only way we were going to get back down.
Dang. Oh my goodness. Okay. See, Miss Lesa ain't doing that. First off, I don't have that skill. Okay, but I'm not doing that. Oh no. Yeah, I'm not doing that. So I've said before that if I was going to have a different vehicle than what I have, I would still look at something that was still kind of narrow and small. So because I'm more confident with the smaller cars, doing awkward things, right? And nice seeing you too, TJ. And you guys have a great week. We'll see you when you come when we get. We'll see you again, maybe next week. And Maria, I'll get to you in just a minute. Um, Guys, don't forget that I like those three uppercase Q's in front of questions because I see them quicker and I don't miss them the same. Um, but I would, if I was doing a different vehicle, probably do a small pickup truck and put either a flip pack on it, which was an old, it's an older, how do I explain it? Flip pack. You'll have to look it up. It's a tent trailer thing that flips, but it allows you to stand up inside the bed of the truck, and it gives you a lot of space. And so things like the early models of the Tacomas, right? The things like that. But uh, hi, Isabella, welcome. So yeah, I would look at a little pickup and doing something like a pop top thing on the back if I was going to do a different vehicle. Or I would look at one of the um, Toyota based campers. There were a couple in the 70s that had pop tops on them, but it's because I like that driving. I don't like things that are top heavy, the whole wind thing and the tip over factor. You know, I'm I'm a fraidy cat, but I still do stuff. Oops, I still do
You're
stuff.
gonna hang around me too long.
I still do stuff because once I'm comfortable with things, I can. And one of the things we're going to do to the 98 tracker, the white tracker, one of the things we're going to do before I get that back is we're going to put offset wheels on that. Did I say it right, Mike? And what that means is I'm going to have to buy some new rims. Hopefully we can use the same tires because my lift kit all works. But that will give me just a little wider balance point. I don't know the right terms. Does that kind of work? Yeah. So that one of the things about the tracker, the way it is right now, it has a 2-inch lift kit on it. Um, the offset of the center of the room. Right. Yeah. But so it'll give me just a little bit more stability in the side to side movement, plus the fact that one of my tires rubs the frame when I make a hard turn. So it'll kind of solve some of those problems. And so that's an extra 600-ish dollars that which is another reason I'm choosing to go ahead and leave that tracker here. Mike's a good restoration mechanic, and he knows what he's doing. I'm in good hands with him, and so I'm leaving that here. Yes, a little hard to leave the baby, but it's what I'm going to do. Now, Maria, you asked me another question, and my name is spelled Lesa. It confuses people, but that's how you spell my name, Lesa. And you say Lesa. Did I check out LDN? No, I have not had time. I have had a cold for the last 2 days. I saw your messages about it, but I have not looked it up yet. I'm assuming it's some kind of medication, and I am not taking medication for my MS. I never have. The doctor and I, when he first diagnosed it, he was like, whoa, you're 64. Now I'm 65 now, but he was like, you're 64 before anybody ever found this. And you really don't have that many lesions on your brain. I'm surprised. He said, so whatever you're doing's working. I'm not changing it. He said, but if you get worse, you schedule an appointment. We'll come back and maybe I'll see you once a year. Well, I haven't been able to see him once a year because it just hasn't worked out. But so I will look up what that acronym stands for. Um, what I'm really interested in learning right now, if anybody out there knows more about it, I'm really interested in learning more about healing from mold diseases because I think the mold in my background is more of a problem because I've had malaria and dengue. I have been super, super sick in years past, but I think the mold is more of a thing that's affecting me in this current situation. Well, not just this current, but in my life at this point. I think the mold is a bigger thing. So I'm looking for how to heal from mold disease or whatever. I don't know if that's the right term. But anyways, that's that. And you guys got more questions? We're about an hour and 16 minutes. We could kind of go soon, but yeah, there is a thing to small exposures, but when you've been exposed to black mold, and I have been, when I first became disabled, I moved myself to New York City because it was on a wish list. And I had to sleep in homeless shelters. And because I was so sick all the time, they kept sending me to church basements to sleep. And I had lived in a basement apartment previous to this in Virginia. And so I've been around mold things a lot in my life. Evidently, the black mold, especially, and the 5 vintage trailers that I restored, um, they they were serious black mold things. That's how I got them so cheap. Um, but uh, evidently, at that point, we still thought I had asthma. We didn't realize it was allergies. And evidently, when you get that black mold spores gets inside your body, you have to work at getting them out or they never come out. And they change your brain chemistry and your mitochondria in your gut. And so it doesn't act like other people's. And I do think the more research I do, that this really is something that I need to find a way to work at getting rid of. And small exposures is good for some kinds of mold, but not for black mold. And evidently, the other thing that's not enough but can help some is take an activated charcoal, which I may over time do that again. Um, but it won't pull it all out. So I've got to find a way to get that mold out of me. I think it's going to be one of the things. But thanks for reminding me of some of these things. Any more questions today? Is there anything we can help you guys with? Um, the little thing that you mentioned about Iris, about the solar panels. I hope that you find a solution that's going to work for you. There are budget solutions to find in portable solar panels. Yes, there are. But maybe the thing Beth told you about, I haven't looked that up, so maybe that will work. Do we have anything more? Otherwise, I'm going to call it a day. I think everybody's doing pretty good from what I've heard. Most people are starting to be in their winter place. Mole meteorites. Oh, okay. Yeah, there is a skin prick test for mold allergies. But get this. I went to have skin prick test for allergies. They can't test me. They got the stuff, the first 2 pricks on my arm. And I reacted so badly, they sent me away from the office and said, she's too allergic. We cannot test her. And so then they sent in a blood test like they do with babies. And they did the wrong test on me. And so they sent back a really strange thing. But what you need, sweetie? Do you want me to move this? Okay. All right. But yeah. So yeah. Oh, what fun. What fun. Yeah. All right. Y'all have a good day. I know we didn't talk a. Oh, okay. Low dose nalextrone. Okay. I'll look it up. Yeah. I'm sure I didn't say that right. Whatever it was. LTONE. Okay. But I'm not paralyzed. And even with all the stress this summer, whether it was good or bad, just the fact that I in a situation that wasn't by choice sometimes means stress. Um, and that doesn't mean it's good or bad. But even with all of that, I wasn't paralyzed this summer. I had some little issues, but I've been good. So thank you, Jeremy. You will. Gotta go move somewhere with your little itty bitty tractor. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. Y'all have a wonderful week. And remember, we're back here, same bat channel, same bat time, every Sunday, 9:30, except unless I make an announcement. Every Sunday, Arizona time, 9:30, right here, Simply Lesa Live. And I'll see you next week. Y'all have a great week. Pray for each other. Hang in there. Or whatever you do. Just because I use those words doesn't mean you have to. But, hang in there. Have a good week. Ciao. That's done. Yeah. Leaving it for a minute for them to say goodbye.